Hi, and thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to be learning about group investigation. This is going to be a little different, one, because I'm a visual learner. So today's lesson is going to be visual, with animations. What is group investigation? To be honest, I had the hardest time trying to find an explanation of this for myself. The book defines it as students are organized into problem-solving groups and attacks academic problems and are taught democratic procedures and scientific methods of inquiry as they proceed. So if you're anything like me, you're probably still questioning, what is group investigation? Let's find out. Group investigation is a collaborative learning strategy that places students in groups to investigate a given topic. Its primary focus is the investigation of a specific subject or topic. Now I hope this is starting to make sense. I found that breaking down the process of the group investigation made it easier to comprehend. Here's the who, what, how, and why. The who, groups of between 3 to 5 individuals. The what are assigned roles to each group member. How, they are provided with opportunities to experience democratic decision making. And the why, so students are prepared for the democratic citizenship. Yay! I think we've got it. Now let's see how we can start to implicate this into our own classroom. Step 1, brainstorming. Step 2, forming interest groups. Step 3, organizing the what. Step 4, research. Step 5, the creative presentation. And step 6, the student evaluation. Step 1, brainstorming. This is where we get to present the class with a puzzling situation. First, either the student or the instructor identifies the broad topic of concern. Use the model-like inquiry training in Chapter 10. Step 2, interest groups. This is the step where the teacher gets to narrow down the list of possible topics to a manageable 4 or 5, then allows the students to vote on them. Once the students have a topic that interests them, they group up with other students, about 2 to 3. Step 3, teams get to organize the what. Once organized, students meet in their learning teams and determine how their subtopic would be investigated. Students are encouraged to develop a set of questions that guide their study. Step 4, research. Learning teams meet according to group member schedules with some class time allotted for periodic updates. Research can be done at the school library, on the web, by the phone, but the group must work together. Step 5, creative presentation. When each group member has completed their respective parts, the learning team shares its findings with the class in a creative format, such as role play, a TV interview, puppetry, any other form of presentation. The final step, Step 6. Class members evaluate each group's presentation. Then the students organize the information into a written report. The teacher evaluates each team's written product and group presentation. Each student also completes a self and peer evaluation form. Now that we know what it is and how to do it, I'd like to take a moment to try this with you guys as my students, a demonstration. For this demonstration, I invite you to be the observer. You'll be watching me, the instructor, give a project to a group of students and watching how Group A works through the project. Don't worry, you can participate in the end, but for now, here's the video.
Which doll is the black doll? And which one is the white doll?
That one.
Which doll is the pretty doll? Which doll is the nice doll? Which doll is the bad doll? Which doll is the nice doll? And which doll is the bad doll? And why is that doll pretty?
Because she's white and he has 2 eyes.
Which doll is the ugly doll? Why is that doll ugly?
Because he's black.
Which doll looks most like you?
Like me.
Yeah, which one looks like you?
And that one,
Okay.
that doll.
Now class, what comes to mind?
Did society do this? What caused this? Can a child be racist? Is this still happening?
Are you puzzled? I know I sure was when I first watched this. Use these questions and come up with a topic. Class, now that you have come up with some topics, let's narrow them down. Is this still happening today? Racism, self-hate. What's society's role?
I am very interested in knowing if this is still going on.
Me too.
Me 3.
Now students, meet with your groups and determine what your subject will be by answering these questions. What is the specific topic that you will be researching? How will you investigate this topic? How will you divide the work? What outcome do you intend to achieve with this project?
We will be researching how did a child come to see things this way. Let's start working on the history. What was going on in 1940? Wow, in 1952, this doll test was used in the Brown versus the Board of Education.
Yes, the test was created to study the sense of self-esteem in children.
America was segregated in the 1940s? Hello class, we at Group A would like to share with you a presentation. We took the doll test and researched its history. It led us to the question,
Is this still a problem today? So we made our own test, the Doll Test 2017. Watch! Step 6. Okay, now it's time for you, the observer, to participate. Yes, you, class SED 521. Let's do this last step together. Did the students in Group A demonstrate a cooperative and supportive attitude? Thank you for joining me. Now that we have a better idea what group investigation is, I would like to tell you some benefits. Group investigation provides numerous benefits to students. With regard to cognitive skills, students are confronted with an academic problem or concern that they must address in a group.
Created using Powtoon.